Hi, my name is Taya and I'm here to teach you all about art history. In today's video, we will be going through the history of painting. This includes its invention, its origins, and its importance. Let's get straight into it. Prehistory holds the first emergences of painting, where nomadic people would use their handmade paints to create illustrations and markings on rocky walls. The majority of their drawings at this time were created using charcoal, and they would leave marks in caves they passed. It was recently discovered that the oldest known paintings were in Spain and were made more than 42,000 years ago. These are the earliest paintings discovered today that were definitively made by humans. It is likely that primitive men made the first painting. We believe they had been made by Homo neanderthalis in the prehistoric era. It was revealed through archaeological excavations in Europe, Asia, and Africa that the first painters and sculptors were primitive men who demonstrated the ability to create these objects in their everyday life. Over the past few years, these discoveries have been studied and dated by anthropologists and archaeologists. The significance of these findings is substantial. They are evidence of the beginning of a man's life in extinct cultures. In fact, the discovery of these 42,000-year-old paintings in Malaga, Spain may change the way we think about the evolution of humanity altogether. Found in the southern region of Andalusia, these paintings outdated the previous known oldest works, which were believed to have been from the Aurignacian period by modern humans. Prior to this discovery, we believe that the paintings in the Chauvet Pont d'Arc cave, dated at 32,000 years, were the oldest paintings. However, the ones found in Spain are significantly older and more primitive. It was believed for a long time that the evolution of art was exclusive to us modern humans. However, these paintings confirm that that idea is wrong. In fact, the idea that our evolved minds and sensitivity are the reason behind our desire to create such objects is likely completely wrong. Before the discovery of these early paintings, we would never have believed that Homo neanderthalis could have produced such images. We currently believe that the first painting was created in shelters or caves. This is also commonly referred to as rock painting or rock art. The spaces we see painted are known to have been used by nomadic people as a form of protection from the outside world. They would add their markings to the walls and ceilings of these spaces. We know that a large portion of these paintings discovered by archaeologists depict animals, objects, and plants with varying degrees of realism. However, there are also abstract representations and complex scenes that have created much discussion among scientists and archaeologists on their purpose. In a general sense, it is believed that these types of paintings were linked to rituals for good hunting, to ward off danger, fertility, or even simply a form of symbolic language for their ideas and feelings. An amazing part of this is that these early paintings are not only vibrant, but archaeologists recognized more than 3 colors were used. They seemingly attempted to imitate nature through realism by using observations they made while hunting for food. In Altamira, Spain, there is a rock painting of a bison, an ancestor of the cow, that was not only impressive in size and volume, but for its use of the chiaroscuro technique. Some of the early paintings we see highlight the success of their hunts, while others show animals marked by arrows. No matter their reason, it is obvious that the preserved rocks show early humans from millennia ago had the desire to make art, or maybe even just the desire to record their daily life. It is even possible that these spaces were the first versions of museums in humanity. It is currently believed that the origin of painting as we know it today was born during the Neolithic period. This is where rock paintings declined and agriculture and society developed into cultures such as ancient Greece. Villages began to appear among mainland Greece around 3000 BC, as with a tradition of painting ceramic artifacts like vases and pots. A monarchical society in Crete was developed from the 2nd millennium BC, which expanded urbanization, and we see the first signs of mural paintings, though very few passed the test of time. A fresco that has survived from this period is the bull leaping fresco, painted around 14,000 BC. As cities emerged, murals became a standard within Crete. Walls of palaces and large buildings were painted in a figurative style with geometric designs and people participating in activities including worship, ceremonies, and games. They also included some depictions of animals and landscapes. After the development of ancient Greece in the 11th century, we start seeing visual perspective and shading, and representations with 3-dimensional depth and more complex scenes. The paintings we have found from this period were more realistic, with natural and idealized bodies. This became a great tradition for the basis of painting. Paint used during this time utilized egg-based tempering, parietal fresco, and wax-based enameling. They seemingly preferred depictions in black, white, red, and yellow ochre. As we know from later in history, green and purple were not as permanent as the other colours, and blue was an extremely expensive pigment. It is this time when painting began going, as we say today, viral, and created the basis of Western painting as we know it. Many of the techniques and motifs developed at this time are still utilised in contemporary art practices today. Although Greeks were a fundamental reference through Roman art history, the Romans were able to develop their own language, traditions, and compositions. We also owe a lot to the Romans for our current knowledge of Greek painting, as they learnt alongside the Greeks, who lost extensive materials due to natural disasters. The Romans carried on researching three-dimensionality, as well as building great architectural and spatial urban scenes, and those of which were in aristocratic palaces or villages would be painted. These buildings significantly increased the value of the landscape and still life. At this point, we are getting to around the Baroque period of art, which was the final stages of ornamental art. Paintings and architecture during this period showed a remarkable love of detail and depictions of expressive strength. Painting is so important because it is as old as mankind itself. Art is one of the best ways of understanding the history of humanity. Since prehistoric times, man has attempted to express their thoughts, feelings, beliefs, activities, daily life, and the way they see the world. This is typically why we classify art into periods, so we can easily follow the development of civilization. A main reason painting is so important is that it is a form of representation and communication, from primitive peoples to today. Painters have been adapting their techniques and technologies for millennia in the hopes of developing new forms of visual expression. In some ways, painting is more important now than ever before. The value we place on art created and its basis for professional work is exponentially higher than ever before. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed learning about the history of painting from the primitive man to the Renaissance man. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos just like this.